Hi everyone, welcome back. Today lesson we're going to talk about how to sketch a cubic graph. Just like parabola, cubics have three forms. Okay, we're going to go over each form. Now, the first form of cubic is the turning point form. Is y equal a x minus h to the power of 3 plus k. Now, with this form, think about you have the turning point, or we call that the point of inflection, is H and K. So point, POI, point of inflection. So you have H and K here. Then if you have a positive cubic, your shape will look something like this. So it's kind of flat around the point inflection, and it's go like that. Okay. Sorry, that doesn't look very nice. That's H and K here. Now, if otherwise, if your graph is a negative, so this is a bigger than zero, a is less than zero, then your cubic will go like this instead, and the point inflection is H and K here. Okay. um, and with the second form is Y. Actually, I'm going to do an example for this one first before I move to the next one. So let's say I want to sketch y equal a x minus 1 q, make a is 2, and then minus 16, something like that. So you can see the turning point is 1 and negative 16. Point of inflection is 1 and negative 16. Then your shape, so you have 1 and negative 16, that should be a bit under. So 1 and negative 16, that's somewhere here. Okay, 1 negative 16. Then because I is positive, I know that my shape will look something like this. So what I do next is I'm going to find the y-intercept and the x-intercept. To find the y-intercept, I let x equal 0. So I substitute 0 in. Y equal to 0 minus 1 cube minus 16. 2 times 0 minus 1 is negative 1, negative 1 cube, negative 1 minus 16. So you get negative 2 minus 16 is negative 18. That is here. So label that as 0, negative 18. And then you find the x-intercept, you make y equal 0. So x-intercept, let y equal 0. You will have 2x minus 1 cube minus 16 equals 0. You turn the 16 over, so 2x minus 1 cube equals 16. Then get the 2. You divide it by 2 to the other side. X minus 1 cube equal 16 over 2 is 8. Then you cube root of 8. When you cube root, you only have one solution. Okay? When you square root, you have two solutions, but cube root only have one. So cube root of 8 is 2, x minus 1 equal 2, x equal 3. So you end up having here as 3 comma 0. There you go. So this is the first form. We're talking about the turning point form, right? Now, our next form is the x-intercept form. So number 2 is the factorized or x-intercept form. So factorized form is y equal ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus, sorry, that's the general form. Y equal a x minus b, x minus c, x minus d, okay? Or sometimes you could have b and c are repeated. So you could have y equal a x minus b squared if they repeated the solution, and then x minus c or d, whatever that is. B, let's call it c. All right, now for the first one, the general form for this, if you have three x-intercept, think about you have b, c, and d. So positive cubics, we go like this, all right? and negative cubic will go that way. Should I cut it? Yeah. So you have B, C, D. So this is for A positive, this is for A negative, and the general form is Y equal A, X minus B, X minus C, X minus D. Okay. A few students ask how low do you go or how high do you go. You don't learn that yet until we cover calculus. So maybe wait until we learn about calculus first. Okay, but at the moment, you know the general form will definitely look something like that. Now, if you have y equal a, x minus b squared, x minus c, then you would have b and c as your x-intercept, and b will be repeated the b squared. So think about if b here and c here, and you repeated it B. So you start from the bottom, you go to B, and at B, you have the square. The moment you have the square, you're going to back down straight away. So you form a parabola at B. Then you're going to go to C, and C, you just cut it through. So here is basically, whenever you see the square, you touch the axis at x equal B. Okay? If you have, if you switch them around, if you have C here, B here, then you go to C, at C you just cut through, then you go to B, and at B you need to touch or you form a parabola like that. And same thing, if you need to do a negative one, then if you have B here, C here, then you go B, form a parabola, go to C, and if you have a C and B here, then you go to the C, go to B, and form like that, right? So you can see overall factorized form either 3x-intercept or 2x-intercept. One x-intercept, if we go back to the either the turning point form. Okay. Now number 3 is we do an example here first. So y equal to x minus 1 square, x minus 2, like that. So you can see the x-intercept is 1 and it's repeated at 1. So 1 here and 2 here as 2 x-intercept, and you need to form a parabola at 1. So you start from the bottom because it's positive cubics, then you touch it, you go to the 2, and you just cut it over. Okay. As I said, you're going to learn how to find the minimum point later when you do calculus. You just need to find the y-intercept here, and to find the y-intercept, you let x equal 0. So you have y equal to 0 minus 1 squared, 0 minus 2. So 2 times 1 times negative 2, that gives you negative 4. So you label that as 0, negative 4. And this is 1, 0, 2, 0. All right. Now, the last form that we're going to talk about is the general form, the expanded form. So with the general form, y equal ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. With this form, all you need to do is you need to factorize. So you need to factorize first, okay, to convert to the second form. Then you can sketch it from there. Let me give you one example. So let's say I want to do sketch y equal x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6, something like that, right? Then my first step, I need to factorize. And if you forget, you can go back to the video of how do I factorize cubics. So because I have a constant is 6, my first step is I'm going to apply a factor of 6. And a factor of 6 can be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, or plus minus 6. So I try the math. So try x equal 1, sub 1 in, 1 cubed minus 4 times 1 square plus 1 plus 6. See if it equals 0, but it's not equal 0 here. If you try negative 1, negative 1 cubed minus 4 times negative 1 square plus negative 1 plus 6. So you have -1 minus 4 minus 1 plus 6. This one gives you 0. So therefore, you would say x plus 1 is a factor. Okay. Then your next step is you're going to draw a table and you're going to find the quotients of the the quotient when you divide it by x plus 1. So you have 1, -4, 1, and 6. You write as a coefficient. Then you have x plus 1. So you turn down x equal -1. Number 1, you bring it down. -1 times 1 is -1. Plus -4 is -5. Then doing the same thing, -1 times -5 is 5. 5 plus 1 equals 6. And then -1 times 6 is -6 plus 6 gives you 0. So you can see we have here 1x squared minus 5x plus 6. That will be your quotient. So I have x plus 1, x squared minus 5x plus 6. Then I factorize this, I will have x minus 2, x minus 3. And then I have x plus 1 here. Okay. Then the x-intercept, you would turn x equal -1, x equal 2, and x equal 3 as your 3 x-intercept. So you have -1, you have 2, and you have 3. So you know it's positive cubic, so it will look just like that. All right. So with any question that asks you discussion general form, the best way is factorize them first and then find the x-intercept from there. Now, I'm going to do another example, but this time I do use different methods of factorize. So let's say I have x cubed minus 6x squared. So to factorize this, because you don't have any constant, then if you recall, we talked about the method to factorize this, it take out the common factor, which is x squared. They both have x squared. So you have x minus 6 here. Okay. So the x-intercept, if you let y equal 0, you're going to see x squared. So technically it's writing x minus 0 squared and x minus 6. So you can see x equals 0 is one of the x-intercept and x equals 6 is the other one. But the 0 had the square. So this means you're going to touch or the axis or you form a parabola at x equals 0 because the square is 0. So you have 0 here, you have 6 here, positive cubic start from the bottom, go to 0, and you need to touch it. So you need to back down straight away. Go to 6, and then you just go up.